Will
It's
you
okay.
please allow me?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, what about score of that quiz?
Score of the quiz you might have received.
Sir, I checked on mail. Actually, I haven't got it.
Okay.
Actually, it's visible when we click the view score button. Then it shows
Because I
score.
have made it automatic. Means you can see your
Okay,
score.
okay. ठीक है, I'll check it, sir, once again.
Yeah, please do that. Yes, ma'am. Actually, there are 22 participants only now, and the 70 are registered, right? So I don't know whether they have got the information. We have already disseminated on the group. Just a moment. Actually, I have opened the lobby for everyone. No one in lobby. Because this is the most important part which we are going to do, because here you will be learning the data entry, right? So Ruma is saying that she is there, but So I have again sent the link to itself. So if you have not yet joined, you can join it with using that link. Those who have not yet joined. So if you get some information, please convey the same to the other people also, right? Okay, so let us start it. Yeah. So can anyone tell me that what we have studied in what we have learned in the last session? So any learning which somebody would like to share what we have done in the last session? Anyone?
Sir, we have
Yesterday we
seen
have
the
learned.
Yes, please raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yes, yes, Dr. Rajni.
Yes, sir. We have seen the introductory part, like what is research, what is qualitative research, analytical research, scientific research, engineering research. Then we move to SPSS, right from opening window, data view, variable view, various menus, missing values we skipped, then column format, column alignment, and we ended with scales. I think today we are going to discuss about scales.
Yes, yes. Today we will be taking. It's not a case; it's just a situation, you can say. And today we'll be going with that. Yeah. Anyone else? What was your learning means? What you have? This is what I discussed. Thank you, Dr. Rajni. And what we have learned means what was your learning? I have also discussed about what is research. Have you got some insight about that? So has or otherwise has your insight changed about what we have discussed about what the research is? Yes.
Yes, sir. You mentioned one thing that research should not be only about fact finding, but it should bring some quality of life.
Uh,
It should contribute.
yeah, Mr. Kesija, would you like to throw some light on what is research? Yes, Jasab.
Uh, Search, in my view, is uh, a search for a improvised version of any problem, sir. Any solution का कुछ जो upgraded version हम, because every problem has a solution, but that solution up to, sir, because it is a ever evolving process.
Yes, yes.
Solution has to evolve with the time.
So we can say it's a continuous process. It's a continuous process. It's a evolving process. So Jasab, can you give your introduction? Where do you work and how on what topic you are doing your research on?
Yes, sir. Just give me a minute. I'll just go to some cabin and I'll give you.
Okay, okay, fine. So meanwhile, we can have some other people, those who want to throw some light on what actually research is. We have studied about that. I talked about dimensions also. Yes, anyone? Yes, please. Yes, any dimensions. I have talked about the dimensions, that what are the dimensions a person can see while doing a research. They may have their own dimensions to do it, right? So anyone who can throw some light on it. So Mr. Jai is always there with us, I think. Yeah, Barkaji, I hope you are comfortable and I'm thankful to you for allowing everyone to just join at 3:30. Barka madam? Are you there? Yes, Barka ji.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, just I want to thank you that you have allowed us to just start the session on 3:30. Thank you and thanks for adjusting. And secondly, at the same time, and you are from which place?
Sir, I am from Sikkim Manipal University.
Okay, so you are working at Sikkim at present. You are at Sikkim. Okay.
Yes, sir, I am in Sikkim.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, Mr. K.C. Jha, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about the research you were about to? Thank you. Okay, Mr. Jha is leaving anyways. So what we will do is we will just start today's session, right? Because it's already late. We have started a little bit later. So hope you are able to see the screen. Yeah, Jasab, would you like to tell something about yourself and where do you belong to? And you were talking something about research. Meanwhile, I share this.
Yeah. Very good afternoon to all the attendees and our very seasoned faculty, Pava sir. In fact, I am fortunate to have him as a guide. I am a corporate HR functionary. I am a HR AGM in one of the central government company and pursuing my research under the able guidance of Dr. Pava sir only. And presently I am in office, so very intermittent joining and there is some hindrance in the joining the program. But nonetheless, what I was telling about research of my 3 years experience in the field, sir, that research is not an ending process in itself. If something has been researched, it has to be re-researched. Like in our field of research, as you know, sir, that we are carrying out some valuation method, because if you see the journey of the employee-employer relation, it didn't require any. There was no problem of viewing employee as an asset in an organization 50 years down the line back. And even in the earlier era, there was only it was the labor and employer relationship. So there was no need to have that. But with the evaluation of time and evaluation of environment and evaluation of process, there is a need to change the paradigm and need to change the perception of seeing the things. As regard to any scientific research also, it applies to same in all field of research, in my opinion, that it is ever evolving process.
Yes. Thank you, Jasab, because why it is evolving, you have actually thrown a correct light on it, because the way you are doing the work, it is really this shows the evolution. Evolution itself has become a revolution now. So your research actually tells clearly about it. Thank you, Jasab. Yeah. So today we will be.
Sir, you are muted.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
So this is something which is means there is a relationship between dependent and independent variable. One is a dependent variable, and on the there are one or more independent variables also which are there. So the key word over here is measurement, because the researcher cannot identify the variation unless it can be measured. So measurement is rather more important, or you can say it is uh, means you until unless you measure something, you cannot produce the results, because you have to see the comparative type of things. So here itself, if we see, there are the types of scales. Now scales actually enables us to measure the things in a better way, right? So there are two types of scales, you can say, on the broader base, non-metric and metric scales. Metric scales are again divided into two parts: nominal and ordinal, and interval and ratios, right? Now over here, in case if we see the data is classified, it can be classified into one of the two categories, that is non-metric, that is qualitative, and metric, that is quantitative, based on the types of the attributes which actually are there as a characteristics as such. So the researcher must define the measurement type right in the beginning, whether it is a metric or whether it's a non-metric, and even if it is a non-metric, then what exactly type of variable it is, right? So, and even when we are doing anything with SPSS or any of the software, we have to define it to the computer also, that the data is metric or non-metric. Otherwise, the computer will just calculate the things, and it may or may not be of any use for anyone, right? So that's why this measurement is important. So let us just first take this non-metric types of scales. Or non-metric describes the differences in the type and the kind by indicating the presence or absence of a characteristics of a property. So means these properties are actually discrete in that having a particular feature only, because if a person is included for one, it will be excluded for all, right? For example, if a person is a male, he cannot be a female, right? Or he cannot be a transgender. So an amount of gender is not possible, that I am 50% or 60% type of thing, right? So it is just a state of being, that is either you are or you are not. So in that type of, when you are doing something, then it is something which is related to the non-metric. So non-metric measurements either can be nominal or it can be ordinal. So these are the two types of non-metric measurement. Right. So if we talk about nominal scales that assigns number as a way to the label or identify the objects or the subjects as such. So number are assigned to the objects which have no quantitative significance beyond indicating the presence or the absence of the attribute which or characteristic under the investigation. Nothing beyond that it is there. Means you are just signifying that, for example, one is male or two is female, or two is female or one is male, whatsoever. So we are just only signifying it, that who is what, and nothing beyond that, because the software understands the language of the numbers itself. So nominal data only represent the category of the class and do not actually imply the amounts or an attribute of the any characteristics. So nominal data can only provide the numbers of occurrence in each class or category of the variable. That is, you can efficiently know the frequency in case of nominal data, right? So with this with these data, however, we can only tabulate the number of males and females, or we can only just calculate the frequencies, that how many males and how many females are there, right? And it will be nonsensical to calculate any averages out of it or make any inference out of it beyond going to the level of this frequencies, right? So this is what is nominal scale. The second non-metric scale is the ordinal scale, and this is the higher level of measuring the precision. It actually measures the precision at the higher level than that of the nominal. So what higher level it is? In case of nominal scale, the variables can be ordered or ranked in relation to the amount of the attribute possessed by it, right? So every subject or object can be compared with another in terms of either greater than or less than relationship type of thing, this not beyond that, right? So this is something which is related. So number numbers utilized in the ordinal scales, however, they are really non-qualitative, quantitative, because they indicate only the relative positions, right? For example, we just say that somebody is first and second and third, but there is an order, but and besides the order, there will be some people who will be belonging to the first category, second category, and third category. For example, if you take the income, let's just take the case of income. If I classify the income as a higher income, middle income, and lower income, so there will be only three classifications of the income as a higher, middle, and lower. But how much far these incomes are, we cannot say is it as such, right? So ordinal scales provide actually no measures of actual amount of the, or you can say magnitude in the absolute terms, but the order of the values it provides. Okay, so what is the order? It provides that, and you can see that first, second, and third. It's not 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this only provides the orders, and researcher knows the order, but the how much is the amount of differences, it is not known. For example, different levels of consumer satisfaction, right? So with several new products, it can be illustrated in the form of an ordinal scale. Suppose, for example, income level, anxiety level, rank of employment. For example, in our education, it is professor, associate professor, assistant professor, lecturer. So these are the ranks of the employment, right? But you cannot know that what actually is the difference. So, but it classifies also, and it puts some order also. So the precision is far beyond the nominal, which only puts us in order, or puts the you can say variables in order, but not in order. It only categorizes, whereas the ordinal scale puts it in order besides categorizing the same, right? So further, if we take a example of suppose the customer of the three new products are offered. Suppose customers are offered three new products, right, by a company, and they have been ranked on the. They have to be ranked on the basis of their satisfaction using the ordinal scale. So what it will be? So when it can be likewise. So when we measure this variable with the ordinal scale, we rank the order, right? The products, or you can say anything based on the satisfaction level. So we want a measure that reflects that a respondent is more satisfied with product A than product B, and are more satisfied with product B than product C. Now it based solely on their position on the scale. So we could assign rank order values as 1 is equal to, you can say, highly satisfied to product A, 2 is equal to product B, and you may say that C is dissatisfied, so it is something product C. So there is first, second, and third. So, but the actual difference is not known in between, right? So, and a researcher may find he may or she may just find it attractive to use the ordinal measures, but the implication of sometimes actually do not allow us to do so. So analysts actually perform an arithmetic operation you cannot, right? So if you want to add, subtract the things you cannot do. So no sums, no averages, no multiplication, division, nothing can be done, because the data is non-metric, and these things are quite so limited. So hence non-metric data should be properly identified and be used appropriately in whatever analysis we are doing. And further, it doesn't mean that the non-metric data cannot be used in any form in the scales itself, but many techniques are devised solely to deal with the non-metric data which are there. For example, if you see in one of the multivariate technique, it is called correspondent analysis. That is a non-metric technique. So discriminant analysis itself is a non-metric technique where these things are, but these are multivariate techniques also which are devised particularly for this purpose, right? So further, unlike the non-metric data, now we are coming to the metric data, which is again a higher level of the precision. It is there, right? So unlike non-metric data, metric data are used when there is a difference in the amount or the magnitude or a particular activity. For example, the level of satisfaction or a commitment to a job, right? So level of satisfaction we have used as an ordinal also, and here we will be using as an interval also. So metrically measured variables can be compared and contrasted relatively, but you have to measure it metrically. right? So the arithmetic operations done with these variables actually makes a lot of sense, right? So as shown in the figure below, the metric measurements are the intervals of the ratio scales. If you just see this, and if we apply it like that, right? So this is you can say this is how it has been quantified, right? So if you see it carefully, we have quantified it highly satisfied to 5 and satisfied to 4, neutral to 3, dissatisfied to 2, and highly dissatisfied to 1. Right now, both interval scales and ratio scales provide the highest level of measurement accuracy because they allow performance of any mathematical operation. And these scales have constant units of measurement. So differences between any two adjacent points or any part of the scales are equal. Now here the things are quite so simple and equal. For example, if you consider the same scale to be taken to understand as the ordinal scale, the metric data could have been obtained, making the scale from the 5 to 1. That is, the 5 is that highest level of satisfaction and 1 being the lowest, right? So accordingly, now we can also calculate the average scores over here, right? If I just say that these products are lying over here as such, we can actually give them the numbers, right? So product A over here is at 4.5, product B is at 4, and product C is at 1.5 level of satisfaction, right? Now, besides ranking the product on the basis of the satisfaction, as we have done it in the ordinal scale, we can also make the inference that the difference between the difference between the satisfaction level of product B and product C. Now, what is the difference between the satisfaction level of product B and product C? Anyone? Yes. Yes. Come on. What is difference between? Yeah. Anyone, please. You can unmute yourself and say. What is, I repeat, what is the difference in the satisfaction level of product B and product C? How much it is?
2.5.
0.55.
Yes, it is 2.5.
2.5, sir.
Yeah. Now, again, if you see what is the difference in the level of satisfaction between product, you can say maybe A and B.
0.5.
0.5.
0.5. Now, previously it is 2.5 between product B and product C, and it is 1.5, sorry, 0.5 between product A and product B. Now, here I can see, or I can say it like that, if you see the product A, it is having satisfaction level of 4.5, and product C is having satisfaction level of 1.5. Can I say that the product A is 3 times, it is giving me 3 times more satisfaction than product C? Can I say like that?
Yes.
So if
Yes,
we are
yes.
saying like that, and we are doing it like that, then it means we are using the ratio scales. But at the same time, it can be said, but it is actually not. Why? Because satisfaction cannot be measured as such. Can we measure satisfaction? There's any unit of measure of satisfaction except this which we have provided, and it can vary from person to person. But yes, for satisfaction, for agreement, these are the scales which are widely being used throughout the world. Even sometimes we receive a call from suppose Airtel that on the rate of 1 to 10, where do you rank us? Okay, so that is the way they take feedback, that we are able to rank it at what level. Fine. So this is about the interval scale. One more thing about interval scale is that it is not having any absolute zero. It doesn't have any. Suppose, for example, if you take example of temperature is not having any absolute zero. Time is also not having any absolute zero. You don't know from where it has started and where it will end. But we have absolute zero for, you can say, kilometer, meter. There is a line from where we start measuring the things, right? So let us discuss more about the ratio scales. So this is the greatest form of the measurement of measuring the accuracy and the precision, which is depicted by your ratio scale. And this is because they attain all the advantages of the lower scale, and they also have an absolute zero, which I was just now talking about, right? So they further allow all the mathematical operation. I've just now told you that we can see the differences. We can see the relative you can say the satisfaction level of A is 3 times that of C. This you can use if you are provided with the this ratio scales, right? So we can say, so how we can say a person who is having a weight of suppose 30 kgs and another person is having a weight of 90 kgs. So we can say that the weight of first person is 1/3 the weight of the other person, or the other person is having 3 times the weight of the first person itself. So the scales which are used is weighing machines are there, common ruler are there, so kilometer, and these are all the units of measurement which are already been decided, right? So Mr. A 90 kg is double the weight of his son 45, we can say like, okay. So now what is the difference between ratio scale and interval scale? Can anyone tell me this?
In ratio scale, there is absolute zero, and in interval scale, there is no absolute zero.
Very good. So there is no absolute zero in case of interval scale, whereas in ratio it has an absolute zero, that is a starting point. So each uses the different arbitrary zero, right? And either indicates a zero amount of lack of temperature. We still feel some heat, some cold when the temperature is 0 degree. Right. Therefore, it is not possible to say that the value in the interval scale is a multiple of some other, because it is having arbitrary zero. For example, an 80 degree Fahrenheit day cannot be correctly said to be twice hot as that of the 40 degree Fahrenheit day, because we know that 80 degree Fahrenheit on a different scale, or you can say on the Celsius scale, is 26.7 degree centigrade. Right. Similarly, 40 degree Fahrenheit on Celsius scale will be 4.4 degree centigrade. Now, though this 80 degree Fahrenheit indeed is twice that of the 40 degree, but one cannot state that the heat of 80 degree is twice the heat of 40 degree Fahrenheit, because using different scale, the heat will not be twice as great. That is between, you can say, 26.7 and 4.4. So these 26.7 and 4.4 are not double of each other, which we are seeing in the centigrade itself, right? So that is what the difference is. And the most familiar scale is Fahrenheit and Celsius. We've already talked about. Time is also interval scale, we have talked, right? Now, what is the rationale of this, you can say, giving the measurement scale? So now understanding different types of measurement scale is important because of the two reasons. First, the researcher must identify the measurement scale of each variable used, so that non-metric data are not incorrectly used as a metric data and vice versa, right? And secondly, the measurement scale is also critical in determining which multivariate technique or which technique is most applicable to the data with consideration with both dependent and the independent variable. That is what a person has to see. Okay, now this is just a brief about the scales, that and it clearly depicts the difference between all the scales. Just take 30 seconds to observe this. You will be able to understand that, because whatsoever we have just now discussed, this is a gist of that. Done?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any question from anyone regarding the scales? Yes. Fine. Yeah. Yes, sir. Somebody's hand is raised, I suppose. Yeah, Ashu Tripathi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please tell.
Sir, I just wanted to ask why it is not possible to measure the mode and the median in the non-metric scale nominal.
Who told you it is not? You cannot take averages. That's what I told. Mode is frequency. I told you, no? And median is a positional average.
Sir, in the slide, slide that you give, it is
Average. Average you can, mean you cannot calculate. It will be, you can say, what mean will you calculate if it is 1 is male and 2 is female? Nominal scale. Will you calculate mean?
no, sir.
And will this median be useful at that point of time? Will it make sense to calculate median even? Okay. Yeah.
So median, but mode can be calculated.
I have told you that nominal things you go with frequencies. What you can report is nothing beyond frequencies. How many times the thing is appearing? Should I show you the slide again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. I've told you that this is already there. Just a moment. Yes.
Sir, in the second point, mode nominal is not ticked. So mode can be calculated nominal also, na? So that's what I'm saying.
Okay. From here itself you are saying, yeah, mode can be calculated for nominal, but again, if it is ordinal, it will make more sense rather. Right? Mode, even if you will calculate mode, suppose for example, I have 5 males and 10 females, right?
Yes, sir.
So what will be the mode over here?
Mode will be 10, sir, because males are 10. Highest.
So will it make sense? Even. But if you are having some order, suppose for example, I have more people from higher income group, then means medium people from middle income group and very less people from lower income group. Still, it will make some sense that yes, the
okay, sir, I got it.
You got the point?
Yes, sir, I got it.
The frequency of higher income group is more. Getting the point or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But a good question. Thank you. Keep asking. Okay. Yeah. So setting measures. So next is about setting measures. So to set the measures, what you have to do is you have to click the measure cell. Measure cell is there in the SPSS as such, like this, as it has been shown. If you click it, it will show you 3 options. Give you 3 drop downs, which is scale, ordinal, nominal. I've already told you that SPSS considers interval and ratio as a scale itself. It doesn't distinguishes between the metric type of data. It includes all the metric and scale itself, right? But in case of non-metric data, it has a clear distinction of whether you are putting it as a nominal or as an ordinal, right? So these things are there. You can just put it as such, right? Further, role, right? So the last column, if you see in your SPSS, I hope you all have opened your SPSS as such. So last column, if you see, it is role. But those who are having SPSS, the version which is less than version 20, you will not find this role. Okay, so their role is not having any role, you can say, right? So this is what I am using is also one of the recent editions. 21st is there, right? So I have done it on 21st, though I have 26 also. We have but version 26 in our university too, right? So this is you can say a recent edition, means after 21, though role is of no use at present, we will not be using it, but because it is there, so you must know what actually it is, right? So idea is that the user can identify the group of variables as such as having a particular role in the analysis. For example, there might be several variables which are to be used as a dependent and the independent variable. So if it is indicated through the role setting, these variables will automatically be assigned as such when some kinds of analysis is, you can say, done, right? So there are 4 relevant options over here. Relevant options, right? Input, target, both and none, right? Though you will be having more options if you click it, right? But you get these options over there, right? So these are the things. So input is as a default option. It is used for a independent variable and a predictor variable. If you are using it, normally it is set it as such. Target is used for a dependent variable, both because sometimes one variable is used as both, right? None because it may not be means, or otherwise it is not at all feasible to just you tell that whether this is what. Even sometimes partition is or split is also there. It is used to divide the data set, or split, which is used by the other analysis in the other analysis in the other packages. It is used because I have told you there are add-ons for the SPSS, so it is useful over there, right? So now we will be going with this data entry using SPSS. Now I hope you all have received on WhatsApp one file which I have sent you, right? So that file is important. Somebody was asking, sir, please send us the Excel file. Somebody was saying, sir, हमारे को Word file दे दीजिए. So it is not at all imperative. Even one of my friend Raj, he was actually preparing all that because I have not sent the file, so he was typing it all. So here is a time for you to do the hands-on. You have to do it. But at least before we proceed further regarding data entry, first we need to understand the schedule of the instrument which you have, which is collected. Normally what we do is we just float the questionnaire, right? And then we try to, uh, uh, get the data, and then we feed the data in SPSS. So data entry is exercise which has to be learned. Until and unless you know it at the ground level, you will not be able to understand it further, because sometimes you just copy and paste the data from the Excel sheet to the SPSS. It is allowed, it is okay, but at the same time you have to define the variables. So first of all is the understanding the schedule. Yeah. So anyone, can you tell me that what is this schedule all about, or anyone can tell me that what are you, or to what extent this schedule makes sense to you? Anyone? Please raise your hands. Can anyone tell me that what does? Yeah, Rajni ji.
Yes, sir. This is students' information having their first name, last name, gender, of which ethnicity, from which year they are,
Rajni ji,
maybe in which section, and their overall score, GPA.
No, that is okay. But what I want to tell you, first of all, I would like to thank you that your hand is always raised. I don't know why other people are not at all raising their hands for answering the thing. But I'm very keen to just just look forward that I think you are learning better than anyone else. That's great. Hats off to you. Keep it up. Yeah, Rajni, please tell me that in toto, what does this schedule actually means? What it is about.
Students' information. This is students' information. Their first name, last name, their IDs, gender, in which year they are learning, their GPA score,
Okay.
and how much score they got in different quizzes.
So we can say it's a roll list of the students, right?
Yes.
Numbers
Yes.
are given, their names are given, even their ethnicity are given, from where do they belong to, and this is actually a roll list of a class, right? It comprises of how much data it is having?
Here it's 22.
Yes. So actually this list or this is a long list of 105 data. The complete data set is of 105 students. Or each student, you can say these are the each cases for us, like as if we have got our questionnaire filled from these 105 students, or here for the time being you can consider it as a 22 students, right? And they have filled that their name, what is their name, what is their ethnicity, what is their gender, these all things are there. Getting? So besides all these things, how much you have asked them how much GPA they have scored, right? How much is the marks of the quiz? 5 quizzes they have got, and there is a final quiz also where they have got some marks. So this complete data set is regarding a class roll list, which actually tells you about various performances of these students in a class. Am I correct or not?
Yes.
Right. So I hope you all have understood this in this regard. Right. So if you have any question regarding this, we can take it afterwards. Let us first understand what it is all about. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone, anything else? No. So we can proceed. Fine then. So let us understand this set. So the present data set is a raw data of calculating grades in a particular class of the students. So this comprises of simple roll list of the students, further extended with the variables related to the calculation of the grades scored by the students. A single teacher is, let me tell you, this is very, very important. One single teacher is teaching all the three sections. Now there are three sections also. If you see, there is a one column of section, right? So there are three sections which comprise of approximately 35 students, and each section is, and it is making a total of 105, as I've already told you, right? So various aspects are used to distinguish each students named as a variables, right? So variables are, so what actually variables are? Variables are those parameters which actually differ from across the uh, cases. So for all the cases, for example, we all have different names. So name itself is a variable, right? So we have different genders also, right? So some are male, some are female, right? We have we all are from different states. Those who are present over here, right? So these all are the variables, and across all the participants of this FDP itself, there are various variables in which we vary from each other. But there is one commonality: we all are literate, we all are educated, and we all are doing this workshop. So this is something which is called constant, which is common with every one of us, right? So here there are certain variables which are named as ID, name, gender, ethnic, right? Year, you can say standard, section, GPA in the previous class, extra credit project whether taken or not, review of the classes whether they have taken the review classes or not, or you can say there are 5 quizzes and there is one final exam score, right? So let us explain it in detail. So this I have taken from this Darren and Marley's book. So these are the variables. Now let me just tell you one thing. If you religiously want to learn this, please write it down in your copy, because in the next half an hour is yours, and after half an hour I will come back to you again. Maybe we may take 15-20 minutes, and within this half an hour you can keep on asking me questions if you are stuck in somewhere while doing your hands-on with this SPSS, right? So these files are, first is the ID. So it is a 6-digit student number. Mind it, it is a 6-digit. So you have to define the column width is 6 over here, right? The last name is the last name of the student, first name is the first name of the student. So it is a name. So you may have to give proper space of maybe about 19 characters or 20 characters in for the first name and the last name, or you can give 10 characters for the last name, 10 characters for the first name, right? Next is your gender. So please mind it, you have to put 1 for male and 2 for female. Now these all variables and the things which we are discussing will be helpful for you to in creation of your variable view. Okay, so these all will be helpful over there. And please mind it, these all must be similar, that 1 is equal to male and 2 is equal to male. So everyone has to do the same thing. That's why I'm displaying it over here. Ethnicity of the student is 1 is Native American, 2 is Asian, 3 equal to black, 4 equal to white, and 5 equal to Hispanic. So please note it down, because this may not be there in front of you. You may be only having the data set on your screen, right, when you will be doing this. And I will not be there to just tell you again going on the slide that what is what. So please keep on writing all these things. Year, you can say first, you can just have 4 years. First is equal to first year, 2 is equal to second year, 3 is equal to fourth year, and 3 is equal to third year, and 4th is equal to fourth year. Okay, you can even use frosts of junior and senior. This is what terminology is used in USA. Okay, but you can have one for first year, 2 for second year, 3 for third year, and 4 for fourth year, right? Now further, low up. So their standards are there. Lower standard means first year and second year. Those students are belonging to first year and second year, they are in the lower standard, and those who are in third and fourth year, they are in the higher standard. So lower, you can write 1 is equal to lower and 2 is equal to upper. Okay, you can do it. Further, there are 3 sections. So 1, 2, 3 sections are there. So 1 means section 1, 2 means section 2, 3 means section 3. So these all are the values which you will be using. So these are the value labels which you have to attach to it, right? Further GPA, so GPA itself is a continuous type of thing, so no need of mentioning any value labels to it. Again, extra credit, whether they have taken extra credit project or not. So 1 means no, 2 means yes. In the same way, whether they have taken review sessions, 1 means no, 2 means yes. Again, quiz and final, these are categorical, continuous type of variables, right? So afterwards, you will be required to do this, and this will appear in your SPSS like this, right? But in order to do this, first we have to create the variable structure in SPSS, and for the purpose of entering data, because until unless you have to create the until unless you have created the variable, you cannot put the data, because these all things will goes hand in hand. So the next slides will help in creating the data structure variable for effectively entering the data. So first, what you have to do is just please open your SPSS. Please keep on endorsing me that you are doing it. Okay. Have you opened your SPSS? Your mics of all of you are on. You can
Yes,
directly
sir.
speak.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So just go on the variable view. Have you gone? Go on the variable view. Everyone on the variable view
Yes,
itself.
sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
yes, sir.
So now just click this, click and select the first cell of the variable view and type IND. Type ID over here, because our first variable is ID. I hope you have noted down all these things which I have just now told you to note down. ये आप लोगों ने लिख लिया है?
No, sir, not yet, sir. I'm
चलिए
Sir,
trying
written,
to
sir.
share
हाँ,
so that
या
we
तो
can.
इसका either you can click up tab or you can write it down. Anything you can do, right?
Written.
हाँ, लिख लीजिए, ज्यादा अच्छा है, 2 मिनट लगेगा, लिख लीजिए. I give you time. And as soon as you write it, please tell me it is done. Let's everyone be uh, uh, at one same. We all must be at the same platform in order to learn all together, right? We have time, we can do it.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please ask. Who is this?
Uh, Sir, Parul Jain here.
Yeah.
Sir, I need to ask something that while going for the research, while making the hypothesis, so how many variables can we take?
It totally depends on your objective, Parulji. So first of all, what your objective is, that will determine that what will be your hypothesis.
No, I mean, how can मतलब कितनी ज़्यादा हम variables ले सकते हैं तो वो हमारी research को strong करेगा? That's what I'm asking. मतलब is
देखिए,
there any
मैं एक्सेप्ट
compulsion?
कर रहा हूँ आपकी रिसर्च को. अगर आपके हाइपोथेसिस के अंदर सपोज आपने 12 वेरिएबल ले लिए, लेकिन
ठीक
वो
है,
हाइपोथेसिस आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव से मैच नहीं करती, तो आपकी रिसर्च और भी ज्यादा कमजोर हो जाएगी.
correct. तो
ठीक है.
हम
ये
मतलब
ऐसा
precisely हम ले.
ऐसा कोई क्राइटेरिया नहीं है कि आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा वेरिएबल्स हाइपोथेसिस में लेंगे तो उससे आपकी रिसर्च स्ट्रांग हो जाएगी. प्लीज फॉरगेट अबाउट इट,
Okay,
राइट? व्हाट आर योर ऑब्जेक्ट? दैट्स व्हाई मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको, बेसिक्स के ऊपर ज्यादा ध्यान दीजिए. अब मुझे नहीं
ठीक.
पता आपको किसने बताया, बट इंक्लूडिंग मोर वेरिएबल्स इन द हाइपोथेसिस मींस द पर्सन वांट्स यू टू परफॉर्म सम वेरी हाई लेवल टाइप ऑफ टेस्ट that will never land you up anywhere until
Correct,
unless it
correct,
matches with your objectives. So
correct.
that's why.
Fine, sir.
So by the way, what is your objective?
Sir, I'm working on the farmers. I'm working on the agriculture economics.
Yes,
My topic is the vetiver farming. I'm doing a comparative analysis between the vetiver farming and the traditional farming.
fine. So this modern farming and the traditional farming, so these two are the things which you want. So there may be variables which may be affecting the traditional and the current farming, right?
Yes.
So actually, what your things is, yours is a comparative analysis, I suppose,
Yes, sir.
right? So in comparative analysis, you can just have, for each variable you can have different hypotheses,
Okay.
right? Okay, what are your variables?
So the farmers, the land area,
Land
and
area,
the productivity.
productivity. Let us just talk about land area, right? So there is no significant difference in the productivity if the land area is concerned between your traditional and the modern one. So this can be your hypothesis,
Okay.
right? So and this can be tested using your t-test, and you can even use chi-square test, but we'll recommend t-test if you have a normal data which has been collected from a randomized or you can say probabilistic population.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, I hope you got the idea.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Thank you.
So yeah, so I hope you all have written by the time, right?
Yes.
So here is you can say the next one, the remaining part of the variables. So you can write these. Meanwhile, if anyone is having any question, as just now Parulji has asked, so you can ask me if you want.
Yes.
Yes, please. Anyone? Any question? Okay, please write it down, and as soon as you say that you have done it, you can tell me that it is done. So I will proceed further. God bless you. Yeah, done? Yes.
Done, sir.
Yes, sir, it's
Done,
done.
sir. Yes, sir. Done.
Is anyone still doing? We can wait. No
Yes,
problem.
sir.
Yeah, carry on, please. Carry on. Take another maybe 30 seconds or 60 seconds more. And please, those who are doing, please tell that they have done so that we can proceed.
I'm still.
No
Done,
problem.
sir.
Okay. Take your time. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
the ID in name we wrote the ID. Then last name there we have to type.
वापस बोलिए please.
In name column we
Done,
had
sir.
wrote the ID. Then next last name in which column we have to enter.
मैं आपको ठीक से सुन नहीं पा रहा हूँ. Sorry. कुछ disturbance भी है पीछे. थोड़ा
Hello.
सा जोर से बोलिए please. हाँ जी मैम.
Sir, in name column we wrote the ID. Then
हाँ.
next
आगे बढ़.
it is type column,
मैं
width
आ रहा हूँ
column
मैडम.
and decimals.
Hold on. मैं आ रहा हूँ, वहीं आ रहा हूँ. अभी ये लिख लिया कि नहीं, आप ये बताइए. लिख लिया ना?
Only ID we wrote in first.
हाँ. मैं presentation पे आ रहा हूँ. अभी ये लिख लिया ना?
Yes, sir.
Fine. I hope everyone has done this.
Yes, sir.
Writing part. Fine.
Yes.
Now let us go to ID, what madam has just now told. So you have written ID over here, right? Now this, as soon as जैसे ही आप tab key दबाएंगे, this all will start appearing over there. So these are the default settings, right? So these are the default attributes of the variable which will appear in row 1 for variable ID, and there is no label used because by default there is no label used. So you can use your label over there that these are the roll numbers of the students. Okay. So let us just go one by one. So these are the attributes which we have to fulfill. Now we have to customize this as per our requirement. And what is our requirement? We have to tell that what ID is, right? So, and how will you customize this? For example, ID is one of the variable. ID is a numeric variable. ID is a numeric variable, so we will put numeric. Yeah. So please observe whether ID is having any decimal. It is not having any decimal, I suppose.
No, sir.
Okay. You can decimal, though by default decimal is 2. So you can put it 0. Okay. So put decimal as 0. You can just put it as 0. Okay. I have told you how to do it. Yesterday we did all this and we have reached to this stage. Label में आप लिख सकते हैं, these are roll numbers of the students. Roll numbers. That's it. One more thing, when you are writing name, means name of the variable, remember the rule that you must not use any space in between.
Skill development.
And further, if you proceed, now there is nothing missing over here. 8 columns are required. You have 6 column ID, so 8 is sufficient. Alignment, if you want to do, you can. Now measure. You tell me what this ID is, whether it is nominal, ordinal, or scale. Anyone?
Nominal.
Nominal.
Absolutely,
Nominal.
it is nominal. because its work is just to identify a student, nothing more than that. Okay. So in the same way, what is our second variable now? Second
Last
variable
name.
क्या है?
Last name. Last
हाँ जी,
Last name.
last name.
ये इस तरह से आपका पूरा शीट बनना चाहिए. लास्ट नेम इज स्ट्रिंग. अच्छा, मैं आपको बता देता हूँ पहले से ही, इसमें मेजर्स गलत है. The measures given in this list is wrong. I have deliberately done it. Right? Now you have to tell me the correct measures of each type of thing. Right? So last name over here is string. Last name, whether last name, it has to be string. Now you have to put width. Width can be 10 or whatever you want to put, you can. Here it is, they have put it 30. 30 will be too long. Just see how much long is the name on an average. Right? Just put it there. Again, as soon as you will put it as a string, the last name and first name, what will happen? It will not show any decimal because strings do not have decimals. In label, you can put last name as a last name and the first name as a first space name. So in label, you can use space, but in the variable name itself, you cannot use spaces as such, right? So further are the values. Now, first name and last name will not be having any values. Just see the things which you have just now written. आपने अभी लिखा है ना? Gender is one male and two female, right? So
Yes,
here
sir.
यहाँ पे इसने गलती करी है, one female लिख के two male लिखा है, ये भी गलत है, right? So you have to put it by your own. Yes.
Sir, is it ordinal or nominal? Gender?
Which one? You tell, sir.
Nominal.
Yes, it is
Nominal.
nominal. Gender is nominal. It is not ordinal. Sir, ordinal, मैंने बताया ना इसमें ये गलत है. I have deliberately put it wrong so that you get confused and ask me a question. And I'm thankful that you are asking it. Otherwise, what will happen? You will accept it as it is. Don't accept the thing as it is. Please ask if you have doubt. Then only we will be able to learn. Okay. Now for ethnicity, I have already given you. One is Native American, two is Black, Hispanic, and you have already written what is what, I suppose. अभी अपन ने लिखा है ना, मैंने आपको कहा था स्लाइड देख के आप लिखिए, तो वहां पर आपको वैल्यूज में जाके वो सब चीजें डालना है जो जैसा अपन ने कल सीखा था. Okay, these all have to be done, right? In the same way, year one is first year, two is second year, three is, so इस तरह से करके आप सबसे पहले तो वेरिएबल व्यू क्रिएट कीजिए. Okay, so after 10 minutes I would like to see the variable view you have created, right? So in 10 minutes, so I'm giving you time of 10 minutes. So it is 4:40 हो रहा है, तो 4:50 पे we will see it. Okay, ready?
Done, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
please go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead. 10 minutes I'm giving you to write, and I am here only. I'm not going anywhere. Your questions are most welcome. Okay, now this is a practice session which you have to do. Okay, so these 22 students, after creating this variable view, you have to create your data view also. So first we are creating variable view. Please mind it. First we have to create the variable view, then only we will be able to create the data view. Let me open this for you so that you can see it how the variable view is to be. So this is a variable view. Okay, so you have to create it, but mind it, I'm already telling you measures are wrong. And let me see who correctly prepares this sheet and how early you do it. Go ahead. And if you have any question in between, you can always ask me.
So there is a variable section in which you said section of class 1 to 3. So do we have to add values there? 1, 2, 3?
Yes, of course. 1 means section 1, 2 means section 2, 3 means
Okay.
section 3. The sections, they have not put any values over here. If you see this, I'm telling you, this is wrong. Okay, GPA will not have any value. Quizzes and final score will not have any value, but rest everything will be having a value except your last name, first name, and ID.
Excuse me, sir, do we have to do the role part also? Independent or
Sorry?
dependent variable? So do we have to correct the role column also?
No. Keep it default. That is input. Let it be. No. Yeah, because that will not be required as such.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So one request, sir. Can your slides be shared, sir, to us, so that if after a few months we want to.
Sure. Please
Thank
take
you,
it.
sir.
Right.
So not now only, sir. All the slides post the session, because after 3 months again, if I forget about SPSS, then again I can go back to the slides and
Please don't
recall.
worry. You will be getting all my slides.
Okay, sir.
This is a
Thank you, sir.
promise. You will be getting all my slides. You can review it. You can use it. You can give it to someone else you want. Please spread this research everywhere, whatsoever, wheresoever. And this is what is a commitment of Manipal University, Jaipur also, that we keep sharing the things with others. Right? So there is no restriction. These all material, whatsoever is there, this is for you. Whatever is mine is yours. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah, actually, hello.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, sir, in my variable view sheet, all the variables showing like variable 001 and 3.
There is
May I know?
some interferences here. Poojaji, I'm not able to listen properly because there is some echoing going on. Are you on with two of your devices? Yes, Pooja madam. This is again, there is an echoing going on. There is some two devices you are using simultaneously, I suppose.
Oh, yes. Actually, two screens are working.
Or Aviralji might be sitting with you. That's why this inference is going on.
No, sir. I am in my office.
Okay, you are in your office, fine. So no problem. You can just
Yes.
don't stop the device. Just mute the mic of that device.
Okay,
So
sir.
this
Fine.
yeah. You want to ask something, Pooja ji?
Hello. Hello, sir, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, Barkham, if you want to ask. Sandeep ji, हो गया क्या?
Yes, sir, I have done it, sir. In the meanwhile, I want to ask something. This
Yeah.
role.
Sandeep,
Sir,
please.
yeah, so sir, input, I know when we are feeding in the data, we use input. So when we use target in the role?
Target is used when the device is when you have a dependent variable. Input is for independent variable. Target is used for dependent. If you have to define it as a dependent variable, then you need not to do anything over here. Let it be default by default, whatsoever it is.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Don't touch it. It
Yes,
will
sir.
be of no.
Okay, sir.
So is there anyone who has done and would like to share the screen? I will make him a participant. I will make him a presenter. If somebody would like
Yes,
to
sir.
share the screen. Yes, raise your hand.
I have done it.
Yeah, Rajni ji, ho gaya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excellent. So I'm making you presenter. Please share your screen that you have done it, right?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah, done. So you can now share your screen.
So here it said that only meeting organizers and presenters can share.
You are a presenter now, na?
No, sir. We are not allowed. Only, I think,
You are a presenter now.
organizers.
I have just now allowed you. I have just now made you a presenter.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. I hope you are able to. You will be able to share the screen. There is a arrow. Just hold on. I have to stop sharing. Then only you will be able to share. Yeah. Now I have stopped
Yes.
sharing. You can share. You can share.
So that button is not active still. Arrow button.
Arrow button is not
It's
yet
still not.
active.
It is not yet active, saying hold on.
I have made you a presenter also. Don't know why it is so. Just hold on. Okay. Now you can do it. Can you do it now? Now it is active?
एक second, sir.
Ha. Dr. Sharing from Sikkim Manipal University. Are you from Sikkim Manipal University, Dr. Sharing?
Yes, sir. I'm from Sikkim Manipal, sir.
Okay. Dr. Rajni, are you presenting now?
Just 2 minutes. It's hanging up. Just 2 minutes. Otherwise, I'll tell you.
Okay. So anyone else who would like to present, raise your hand. Yeah, Ashu Tripathi ji.
Sir,
You
I have
can
a question. Sir, I've got a question.
Ashu ji.
Sir, I just want to know what about the columns? I have seemed to forgotten what do we mean by columns?
Columns, I told you it is just a cosmetic one. Means
okay.
Yeah. So Ashu ji, you have presented, or this is
sir, I have completed, but because it is on a different screen, I will not be able to present.
Okay.
Sir, my
done it in the desktop.
Yeah. Dr. Rajani, you have presented, I suppose?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So very good. So what is here to see is, I think it was you who told me that, sir, I have a version 16 only, yeah? If I
Yes,
remember.
sir. I was same. Yes, sir.
No, okay. Fine.
So please just check the scales if they are correct.
Yeah. I'm checking it out. Ethnicity. Excellent, Dr. Rajni. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
The measures are absolutely correct, and this assures, this has assured that you have learned actually whatsoever I have delivered 100%. Yeah. Anyone any doubt about the presentation which has been made by Dr. Rajni over here? You can question her also, and I will support her if she will be correct, and will tell you the correct if she will be wrong.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Anyone who would like to ask Dr. Rajni? Dharmendra Jha.
Sir, my question is that what is the difference between width and columns? Actually, I'm quite confused on that.
You just consider not much difference. Whatever you put width, the column will actually, width actually is a wideness of the you can say wideness of the particular column, you can say, and number of characters you have to add, that is the column actually, right? So not much difference, but yeah, if you keep on, if you keep it too wide and too low, you will be able to understand what the difference is. So sometimes when we are punching a character, how much character it should take, actually will consider the entire, because width will only show you that thing which you have put width of, right? But column will accept only the number of characters which you have which you are entering. So column should be more than the width. Columns will go inside under the table itself, right? The table or the column which you are making, Dharmendraji, right? Very good question, Dharmendraji.
Manvinder Singh ji.
Who is this?
Yeah, this is Raj.
Raj ji, बताइए.
Sir, acha, this is no for the with I have this. I'm doing Excel sheet in a different laptop. So I have given quiz no numbers. With I have given 111. Is that okay? No, here she wrote 888. So for quiz I have given 1.
Yes.
With is 1.
Okay.
But-
At least you should give 2 because the quiz are
Yes,
out
yes.
of 10. If a person is getting 10 out of 10, then it will be a problem. So
Oh,
आप
okay,
2 तो
okay.
दीजिए कम से कम.
Acha.
And
one more.
for gender, it may be 1. Ethnicity, it may be 1. Or year, it may be 1.
No. When you will be using at least give some specific width, right? Suppose, for example, gender is MALE male, so 4, but female is FEMALE 5. But sir, there is no इसमें कोई इतना कंजूसी मत कीजिए. Just give 8 to at least by default आ रहा है, उसको change मत कीजिए. Right? Don't change it. Yeah, Dr. Rajni, you can stop sharing, no problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And I appreciate your enthusiastic participation in the workshop.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so
Sir,
rest
again,
of the things.
Sir, again, big doubt, sir. So I got mistakes for this measure. I got extracurricular and review. I am marked as ordinal. That's then okay. So I got 2 mistakes from this measure. Measure is very toughest job, I think so.
Just a moment. Major is what?
Under measure, no.
Major,
The
you have to
item
define
is.
whether it is nominal, ordinal, or scale. Scale means interval and ratio both.
I got two mistakes. That is review and the EXTRC extracurricular. I marked ordinal, so I got a big difference there.
What you have marked?
Ordinal.
So may
Yeah,
I,
who will answer?
may I, sir? Rajni?
Rajni, please answer.
Sir, we are
Great.
having values 1 as no and 2 as yes. So obviously it goes for nominal.
Yes, of course, because it will categorize into either yes or no.
Yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay. So if there is no difference with the yes or no, for example, a review has done for this candidate or no? Yes, that is yes or no. So male or female in the same sense?
Absolutely. Either you are in one category or other. So when the things are like this, then you have to mark it as a nominal one. Yeah, Ashu ji, any question you have?
Yes, sir. I have question in low up. In fact, year
Yeah,
and low
Rajni,
up both.
you have to answer it.
So, sir, why should the year be ordinal? It should be nominal because it can either be 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Ashu ji, tell me, low is a lower one and up is upper one or not? Isn't it showing something which is in order?
Okay.
Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it itself showing an order? Besides, it is a category. It is itself showing an order, right?
Okay, sir. Because it is order. Okay, sir. Got it. And sir, I have got another doubt. For example, the main exam is of 75 marks. So how can we make sure that it will not consider anything about 75 in data entry?
It will not consider more than 75 in data entry.
If by mistake someone writes 80, but it is not possible, na?
You can use the data validation. We will be learning that also. Don't worry.
Okay.
So that will come up. Okay, and one more thing. Even if it doesn't comes up as such. There is no tool which can identify, because these will be the outliers which will be identified in a different way in SPSS. Right? One cannot get 101 out of 100. If it is, then it will be shown as an outlier. Okay. So there are separate for outliers also, because this is which we call it as a statistics. So here outliers will be there. Yeah, Hemant ji, you have something to say? Hemant?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Hemant ji, please tell.
Actually, for quiz one and quiz variables is there now, sir. Can we quiz variables, sir? Quiz one, quiz two, quiz three, quiz four, like that.
Okay.
Can we measure? Select the put the measure as scale, sir.
We have to measure it as a scale only, sir.
Okay, okay, sir.
You cannot measure it as a nominal or ordinal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it.
Yeah, because you cannot categorize it. It will be scale, and somebody may be getting 9.5 out of 10. Then how will you be able to do it if it is categorical? Got it?
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anything else?
Sir,
any question?
I have tried to put values in the data view, sir. I got some issues with that, sir.
So what issues you are getting with the data?
When I'm inputting gender as a male, it is automatically becoming as a male, sir. So it is automatically becoming as a one, sir.
It will become one because you have mentioned it. Male is equal to one, na? It will.
Okay,
so you need not to. You need not to put male female. You just put 1 and 2.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, Dr. Ji, Maninder Ji. So I have finished my variable view. How can I see this my data in the data view?
As soon as you will open the data view, na, it will show all your variables up. Whatsoever variables you have just now designed, the name of the variables which you have given, it will be given horizontally where ABCD is written in the Excel. Just see that. Just see your just see your data view.
On the top, I got ID. Yes, on the top, I got it.
Yeah. So can you see that?
Yeah, on the top I can see.
Absolutely.
That is no.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
yeah. Now your sheet is ready for doing the data entry. So my main purpose was to just make you understand how the variable entry is done. Now data entry you can do very easily. Yeah, one more thing, which is this is so we are now going to conclude, and I don't worry, I will not conclude before your answers before I answer every one of you, right? The most important thing over here is that we have already finished with our variable view. Now these all variables are available horizontally over there up in your data view, right? So for each and every respondent, right, you have to create the data as I have given you the data sheet in your hand, right? So that data sheet which I circulated on WhatsApp, now that can be done. Yeah, while doing it, you can even put Ram Sham and don't just use the exactly the names which are given over there. You can put any of the names whatever suits you. Okay, even you can take a roll list of your class and just start writing your names over there, right? Even you can use the roll list of our class also, our this session also. So because it will be easy for you to understand and write the names over there rather than because names are of no use at all at present when we are doing the data analysis that you can do. So this 22 entries is your assignment for today. As soon as you do this assignment, take a photograph and put it on our group, right? That you are doing it. Okay. Yeah. Yes. King's Neuro. Who is this? Raj. I suppose.
Raj.
Yeah,
Yes,
Raj.
Raj.
Yeah, Raj. Please ask the question if you are having any. R.I. Gupta ji, I am coming back to you.
No, did I raise any hand? No, I have no question.
Yeah. Actually, your hand is raised.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's missed.
It's okay, sir. No problem. Yeah. Raj, please tell. You are asking something.
Well, I'm not asking, sir, but still, okay. I'm in the cloud now. I can. I'm writing. So I have to do the homework, and I'll get some hit error. It's no. Then I can come to you tomorrow.
Okay, surely. So while entering your data, if you have some problem, you can ask mutually on group. I will not answer, but you guys have to answer each other. So peer learning must happen on the WhatsApp group itself, right?
One question, sir.
Yeah. Please.
Sir, like the previous participant was saying, like when he was typing in male for gender, it was coming out as one. Because
Your
created the variable.
voice is not clear, madam. Your voice is not clear.
Okay, sorry, sir. Sir, am I clear now, sir?
Yeah,
Is
please
it
tell.
better? Okay, sir. So like the previous participant was saying, when he was typing in male for the gender, it was coming as 1. Because he's created the variable labels. But for me, it is not coming as so. I have to either type male or 1. It's not being like automatically, it's not getting transformed to 1.
You do one thing. Just
Yes,
search
sir.
for a button which is called value labels. I told you this value label button is one of the button which is there. Search for this button on value labels button on your SPSS that what you call is not in the in menu bar. Okay, you go in menu bar. There is a option view.
Yes, sir.
View here. Just click that.
Okay, okay, fine, sir. Okay,
have you got
thank
this
you,
value label button over there? Just
yes,
press that
yes,
button.
Sir. Okay,
Now
thank
it
you,
will
sir. Got
start
it,
showing.
sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Getting
sir.
it?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Any other question?
Sir, the number we wrote in the column, what is meant by that number?
Which one? May I know who is this?
In column, Sir Riya Gupta.
Ria. Okay, you are Ria. Okay. Yeah, Ria. Please tell me.
In column, we wrote some numbers like 8, 10, and what is meant by that number, sir? Those
In
numbers.
columns, that is the width of the column. That is just a cosmetic one. You just put by default 8 and leave it as it is.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Rajni, you have some more question? Rajni ji, your hand is raised.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, while
Rajni.
entering data into data view, can we paste information from Excel sheet or row by row we have to enter data?
No. Actually, what the thing is, this is a, you can say, okay, you tell me, how do we enter data when we get the questionnaires filled?
So row by row itself. But as you said, I can use my class roll call sheet. So if I'm having that data ready with me.
But at least, okay, with that data also, imagine you have circulated the questionnaires to every one of us. How will you get the data?
Yes, I'll go case by case.
For every one questionnaire, you have to first fill all the data and then only you will move to the second questionnaire.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Right. So just go row by row. That is a way of doing it. Otherwise, I will tell you how to pick up data from your Excel also, and then do a reverse engineering. That is also one of the way, because these days we are getting data directly on the Google Sheet. Okay.
Yes.
So how to do that? That is also a part of this workshop. Don't worry, we'll tell you that also.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Ria, you have
one
still have some
question.
question, Ria?
No, sir.
Okay, then please
So
put
one
your hand.
question, sir.
Yeah. Please,
Hello?
please.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in this final column, it's actually an summation of the quizzes. So is there a way where I can just, like in Excel sheet, we can just add everything and then it'll just come up?
Ma'am, again,
Is there a way to do that?
your voice is actually not only breaking, but it is जैसे वो आवाज फटती है ना, तो आवाज I'm not able to, I don't know whether others will also not be able to properly hear you. Please
So
please
better?
please change your microphone. That's creating a problem.
Okay, so is it better now? Hello?
Still it is. Yeah, you carry on, please.
So like in Excel sheet, we can do the average in a column. No? Like for the final column, it's actually an average of all the quizzes. So is there a shortcut way in which we can just add all the columns, quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3, quiz 4, quiz 5, and drag it down like we do it in Excel sheet?
So you want to do averages now?
So in this final column, instead of just typing in the numbers, does it have a way in which we can just do the average out here?
No. Averages will
We have to do
like this. These are the see. Actually, Teshwing ji, we are trying to get the shortcuts.
Yes,
Don't do it because what the thing is, consider as if you have collected actual data. Okay.
No, that is right, sir.
The sheet, yeah. Go row by row for each of the sheets, and if you are if it looks cumbersome to you, do only 10 entries. That will be more than enough. Okay.
No,
Just
sir,
I
in the
want
final column, like in Excel sheet, it has a shortcut where we just do average of one, and then it follows that same formula for the next rows.
No. That is not a purpose.
SPSS.
That is
Okay,
not a
fine.
purpose of because why? Otherwise, I would have suggested you right in the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Okay,
You will
right.
please go row by row, and accordingly you will be able to do it in a better way.
Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you.
Any other question? Yes, Raj, you have some question?
Sir, when I enter the year I gave like values, no? So, for example, the first row, it is SOPH. So, I have to type SOPH, huh?
No, you need not to. Just click it and it will show you. You just SOPH, you have given 2, na? SOPH.
Yes.
So write 2, that's it. In data, just punch the data. Or even if you press that value labels button, na, you will be able to toggle between the values and the labels which you have given. Okay.
For
So
example,
value label button, it shows the. So if you want to type in the numbers, just put it at the values. Means you just press it, or otherwise if you want to show it as a labels, so you again press it, so you will be able to. So you will get a drop down box over there if you have.
Dot. The first entry it is not showing. Okay, supposing gender, no, I typed in.
And if you will keenly see, just go close to your screen, you will find one small dot. Can you see that?
Yes, it is there.
Yes, just put your cursor over the dot and you will get your things done. See whether it is working or not. Do it.
Yes, it is done. Yeah. But sometimes it is not reflecting. Maybe the software is very slow.
Right. So these are the things. So anything else? Okay. So how many of you have scored 5 out of 5 today in the quiz? Raise your hands. 5 out of 5 in the quizzes. Excellent. Hemanji. Wow. Please raise your hands, everyone who have got 5 out of 5. Sai Bandhu. Please, come on, raise your hands. Yes, only 2 people. Excellent. So hats off to you. So I will give a clap to both of you. How many of you have got 4 out of 5? 4 marks out of 5. Great. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 7. So Chaitanya Machiraju ji, Ashu Tripathi ji, Pratyush Ghosh, Sandeep Singh ji, Riya Gupta ji, and Rajni ji. 4 out of 5. Excellent. Clap to you also. And what about 3 out of 5? You can put your hands down. Rest of the people. 3. Okay. Excellent. Fine. Great. So number of people are there. Fine. So please review your things and you can ask me questions tomorrow again. So today again I will give you some more quizzes, or tomorrow in the morning you will get some more quizzes. Only 5 questions I will give you, so I don't want to bother you more, right? So, but it actually makes the learning process interesting, right? So those who have not done it, please do it. Barkha Devi also has raised hand. Manish Mathur, right? String also. Fine, guys. Great. So thank you. You may please lower down your hands. So those who have got 2 and 1, please review again and try to get the correct answers, or try to discuss it with your peers also in your group. Please make the WhatsApp group lively by your discussions, and please, one request, please be humble in that WhatsApp group, because we all are equal, right? We all have something. Somebody is having something more, other is having something more. So we all are equal in one or the other sense. Let us respect everyone and join hands together and make this a great learning process, right? So I thank all of you for attending today's session. So at this moment, there are 52 people still there out of 70 those who have registered. Some people have registered only for the sake of certificate, but you will not get certificate if you will not be depositing the quizzes and you are not participating in the class. Okay, participation is again must, that at least one person must ask at least one question. Okay, so thank you all. So let us meet tomorrow again at 3:30. Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.